action, but how will all of these overnight cues impact our own markets? We have our research team joining in with how the trade setup looks like and the stocks that are likely to be in the news. First up, Vamakshi is joining in to get us all the market cues we need to watch out for today. Vamakshi, good morning. We saw a bit of profit booking from higher levels yesterday. What's the setup looking like today?
Well, absolutely, Hormaz, we did see that. But let me first start off with the US markets. They were closed, so there are no major cues coming in from there. As far as the European markets are concerned, the stocks 600 index closed with cuts of nearly 0.2%. But coming back to our own Indian markets, yes, it was quite a volatile day for the Indian markets. We saw India VIX spike by almost 5.77%. In fact, all four frontline indices hit a record high intraday, but it was a mixed close as far as the Indian markets are concerned. Let's first look at Nifty. Nifty managed to open on a strong footing, but after that it sort of mellowed down, and then towards closing it managed to hit an all-time high again after cooling off again from the all-time high. So Nifty closed with cuts of around 42 points, and in fact with that it snapped its 5-day gaining streak. The Nifty Bank, however, was the index that actually stole the show. It was up nearly 1.9% on its expiry day. The likes of Axis Bank and HDFC banks saw an uptick of almost 3%, while ICICI Bank and IndusInd Bank were up nearly 2%. The broader markets, which were outperforming the benchmark indices so far, saw some bit of profit booking. Nifty Mid Cap ended nearly 1% lower, while Nifty Small Cap ended nearly 0.5% lower. That was it for what the Indian markets looked like yesterday. But coming to today, on the global front, we will be watching out for Bank of England's rate decision. The expectation for today is that trading could largely be subdued. It could be range bound, but one cannot rule out volatility given that it's the expiry day. Sector rotation as well as stock specific action is expected to continue. As far as particular stocks are concerned, watch out for Bharti Airtel, Vodafone Idea, Reliance. April telecom data is out. PNB Housing will also be in focus. And lastly, keep an eye out on some rural focused names as well, because the RBI is suggesting that monsoon early landfall is expected to bode well for agriculture, and the Union Cabinet has approved MSP for 14 crops for the Kharif period. As of now, GIFT Nifty is indicating a muted start.
Muted start indeed. Vamakshi, thanks a lot for joining in and sharing with us all the cues we need to watch out for today. Over to Upasna now, who would list out the stocks that you need to watch out for in today's session. Upasna, good morning.
Good morning. First up, let me start with Sun Pharma. The company's Dadra facility receives warning letter from US FDA. Next up is PNB Housing. According to sources, Asia Opportunities Fund, General Atlantic is likely to sell 4.2% stake in the company, and floor price is seen around 7,773 per share, with a maximum 8% discount likely to the current market price. And deal size is nearly around 830 crores. Mass Financial will also be in focus as 400 crore QIP opens. There's an upside of another 100 crores in terms of its QIP, and the floor price is seen at 301.3 per share. Next up is TTK Prestige. The management has appointed a global consultant to draw blueprint for a 5-year long-term strategy and plans to invest 12 crore over the next 6 months. KEI Industries will also be in focus as the operations of the facility in Rakholi and Chinchpada plant are affected due to labor strike with effect from June 19, 2024. Brigade Enterprises will also be in focus as it signs agreement worth 150 crore to develop third tower of World Trade Center at Infopark, Kochi. Next up is Sapphire Foods. The board approves stock split in the ratio of 5:1. And BHEL will also be in focus as Rajkumar Dwivedi has been designated as the CFO of the company with effect from 19th June. Gokuldas Exports, that will also be in focus as company plans to invest in BRFL Textile Private Limited by subscribing through OCDs. And in the first tranche, the company will subscribe 50 crores, while the remaining 300 crore optionally convertible debentures will be subscribed subsequently in multiple tranches. And lastly, telecom stocks will remain in focus as the telecom data has been released. Reliance Jio adds 26.8 lakh subscribers, Bharti Airtel adds 7.5 lakh users, and Vodafone Idea loses on the flip side with 7.35 lakh users.
Upasna, thanks a lot for that. Now over to Nigel, who's joining in with cues from the F&O space. Nigel, good morning. The options expiry today. What's the setup looking like?
Well, that's right. Morning, Horvaz. In yesterday's trading session, the Nifty Bank, that was a star in trade, but that came off the high point of the day. That was clearly the flag bearer for the bulls. What did the FIs do? Well, they added long positions, close to 43,000 long contracts is what they added, and they covered some shorts as well. And now the FIs are net long on the index. And for the first time in this series, well, you have the FIs that are now net long from being net short by close to 3.5 lakh contracts. Now they're net long. And the clients that actually have been getting it right, they have unwound all their long positions. And now, in fact, they are net short. So the client positioning as well should come up for you on the screen. From being net long by close to 3.3 lakh contracts, well, now they're mildly net short with United around 43,000 contracts on. What about the options data? 23,600 call, 23,500 call. Well, both of them were fairly active in yesterday's trading session. There was a sense that there was writing at both those two levels. While on the downside, the 23,300 put, well, that saw a fair bit of action, which brings us to the levels. On the Nifty and the Nifty Bank, the question is, yesterday, did we make a near-term peak? Because we came off decisively from those highs that we saw in yesterday's trading session. So that's going to be important. On the downside, you'll have to say buy on dip still continues. The level you're looking at on the downside for the Nifty will be 23,200. And on the Nifty Bank will be around 50,500. I say that because on the way up, that was a bit of a resistance. Stocks that I'm looking at, a couple of stocks came into the ban. So your Chambal Fertilizer, HAL, as well as Indus Stars, they could be in focus because they have moved into the ban. Well, a couple of them have come out of the ban after a while. Sun TV could be the stock to look at in today's trading session. That came out of the ban. And GNFC is another one as well. Back to you.
What a change the series can bring, isn't it? From net short to net longs now at the FIs. Nigel, thanks a lot for that.